What's up, everybody? I'm so sorry for being late. Welcome to tonight's Late Night Agenda. I'm your host, Craig, and you know when I've got these cans on my ears that somebody is on the line, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the other half of Anfield Agenda, the man that thinks he's too good for you motherfuckers, but I don't. I'm here every night putting in the hard yards. I've brought him on, the diva, the myth, the legend. Connor, how are you?
Sure. Can't complain, can I? It's been a while, hasn't it?
You do enough of it behind the scenes now, to be fair, mate.
I do go, but yeah, it's good to go on every now and again, though. Have a chat with everyone.
It is, and people are asking for you, mate, to be fair. It's great to have you on. It's a bit of a treat for us all to have Connor on. I'm looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure. I get to talk to the guy every day, whether he likes it or not, because I ring him about 5 times a day anyway. Guys, look, once again, I do apologise for being late. There was a bit of bitchology going on Twitter, and I've called the ambulance and I've gone through all that shit, but I'm here now. Time to get stuck into the Merseyside derby tomorrow. One of the biggest games of the season, and Connor, feels like I've been saying that phrase a lot over the past couple of weeks.
Well, when you're as big as us and top of the league, every game's a big game, isn't it?
Darn tootin', my friend. Every game is a big game. We're up against Manchester United last week. I was giving it the whole, this is one of the biggest games of the season. Up against Everton now tomorrow. And look, it's the same thing. It is one of the biggest games of the season. How are you feeling, buddy? Are you nervous?
Not really. I think we should win it. I don't really get nervous about games nowadays because we just have a habit of winning.
That is true. It's a nice habit to be in, isn't it?
It's very nice. We're privileged, really, aren't we?
October said, I literally just yell at Connor every day. Whoops.
It's pretty much accurate. I enjoy chatting there, though.
Irla, as in Irla. I've made sure I've got to pronounce your name. I was so embarrassed yesterday, Connor. You see Irla McGee there said Origi deserves it after the last game with regard to the start. I think I had about 19 attempts pronouncing the name.
What way were you saying it?
Darla, I didn't know if it was an L or an I, but they were kindly enough to let me know it was pronounced Irla, so I do appreciate that. I hate mispronouncing people's names, I really do. Connor, are you going to be on the watch along? No, he won't be, unfortunately. Well, look, I'm answering for him. Huh?
Soon, at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, we're trying to arrange something. Connor's a bit of a diva, he's a man of many talents, so I'm just trying to pin him down to a date. But it is difficult because Connor is around the country at different points. He's up in Dublin, he's down in Wexford, and it's just trying to, nail things down. But we'll get him sorted out, and we'll get him for a big one as well. We won't waste it, Connor, when we get it sorted.
It's true. We'll save it for the big game.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, on the Merseyside derby tomorrow, I went through a few of these stats last night, but you know what, they're so good I might as well go through a few of them again. Since 2010, Connor, which is the last time we've lost a derby to the Ev, there's been 16 games, we've won 7 of them, 9 draws and a big fat 0 for the Ev with regards to wins, buddy.
They're just not going to be us ever again, are they? It's not happening.
No, it doesn't look like it. I mean, fair is fair. Look, they're going to be geared up for this one tomorrow, though. They've conceded 13 goals from set pieces this season, Connor, more than any other team in the Premier League except Watford. And Jurgen Klopp has said today that he wants more goals from set pieces and he wants more goals from other players to take the burden off the forwards. Well, it seems set pieces, as Big Verd's knows, could be somewhere tomorrow that we could exploit.
Yeah, 2 in the last game. You never know what he'll do this one. Have we scored many set pieces this season? I can't even remember.
I think I read somewhere, and I keep getting this confused, buddy. I'm not sure if it was we've had 11 set pieces goals or 11 corner goals. It must be set pieces, surely, and that was before Van Dijk scored a couple, by the way. So, I'd say it's 12-13 at this point.
Not too bad.
My wife's trolling me already. It's just 2 words: cling film. For anybody who doesn't know what that's about, I have an ongoing battle with cling film where I just can't use it. I am absolutely atrocious when it comes to cling film. My daughter, I'm so bad that my daughter was videoing me earlier on. I think she put it on Snapchat, taking the piss out of me because I was trying to wrap a bread roll and I just gave up and threw it at the wall. That's not the bread roll. I wouldn't waste the food. Look at me. Do I look like I waste food? No, the cling film. Goddamn cling film, Connor. I hate it.
Yeah, I can't say I have too strong emotions either way on cling film, but I'd love to see that video send it on to us.
Oh, it was so pathetic. I'm not even gonna lie, it wasn't my best moment. So Fraser McFinley wants to know, sorry, but who the feck is Connor? Spelled with 2 N's.
The disrespect.
The disrespect indeed.
I've never felt as insulted in my life.
Connor is the reason why this stream, this bandwagon keeps on rolling. I just sit in front of the camera and hope that Connor has everything set up for me, mate. So even tonight, I didn't even check the thumbnail or anything. I just assumed it was done. For all I know, that thumbnail now could be me nude in with a fucking, I don't know, with a pair of baby underwear or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen anytime soon.
Hashtag send nudes. The blue shy can fuck off, said LFC_5. They think they're something big. I can't wait for twat to cocky United loving twats. They are just like a feeder club at this point to Manchester United. Well, that's what it seems over the last few years, Connor.
Yeah, a few players there, isn't there? A few players gone between the two.
13 set pieces, said Dave Sweetie. 13 set pieces, which is delicious. We're top scorers from set pieces in the Premier League, said Will as well, with 13. So there you go.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Because like, we used to struggle with them.
Exactly. We've scored as many as the Ev have conceded from set pieces. There you go. So that is somewhere hopefully we can exploit tomorrow.
You putting the Van Dijk bet on again?
No, I'm staying away. Because look, if I don't put it on, he scores. It's a win-win, isn't it? Really.
That's a fair point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's been 31 Premier League games since the Reds lost to a club outside of the top 6, ladies and gentlemen. We've won 26 of those games and drawn 5. Again, good omens, Connor, because I think it's fair to say at this point Everton are not a top 6 club.
Nah, top 11 maybe at a push.
Yeah, the top 6 in the greater Liverpool area.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Like, you have Tranmere and all, don't you? All good teams.
Accrington, Stanley,
Liverpool women's team.
AFC Liverpool. Who else have we got as well? There is, oh God, what's the name of that other club that begins with M? That's close. Mold Alexandra. Sorry, yeah, I knew there was another one. Yeah, so look, they're probably in the top 6 to be fair.
Yeah, it's a good start to have, isn't it?
And another good stat going into this game is the fact that Liverpool have 16 clean sheets this season, Connor. It's something that we haven't been able to rely on in seasons past, but this season, 16 clean sheets, it's great. It means if we go score 1-2, we should be able to see out games.
It's brilliant, yeah. Like, we've conceded less goals than we've had clean sheets. We've only conceded 15 so far. That is crazy. Like, has that ever been done at this stage of the season, do you think?
I don't know. If Manchester City had done it, though, I guarantee you Sky Sports would be rolling shows about it, making specials about it. You'd never hear the end of it. So much.
Even today, like, I've seen headlines saying, "Oh, Man City reclaimed top spot." Like, fuck off, man. We're playing tomorrow. We want to go back top again. Like,
I've literally had people comment on older videos today, just saying second, ha ha ha. Like, they don't understand how maths works or how a league table works. That we have played less games, and if we win tomorrow, when we win tomorrow, we'll go back top of the league.
They're just idiots. Like, just don't listen to them.
Fuck them, Connor.
Fuck them. There we go.
That's the phrase we're looking for. On that one, actually, I've had a look at the bookies odds after Manchester City's 1-0 win today at Bournemouth, and they have Manchester City at 1-2 on, and Liverpool at 17-10, so pushing towards 2-1 for Liverpool to win the league. Now, Connor, call me a biased red, but that seems a little bit disrespectful to me.
Well, we're just going to make more money off them then if we stick money on it, like. So, disrespect all they like, they're just going to be paying out more.
There you go. Paul Dunning said, "Evening, Craig, mate. That's my score as well. My ma's the only blue one in the family." Well, look, you cannot argue with your mother, mate. Mothers always know best, except in the case of football clubs, clearly at this point. But we never go against their mothers, mate, because they're always right. God love them. Right, guys, you can see my team selections up there tomorrow. I'll go through mine. We'll talk to Connor about his. And then, of course, we'll come into the chat, see how everybody's feeling, see what your team selections are. Please do put your score predictions in as well. So I've basically gone unchanged from the team that Jurgen Klopp went with against Watford during the week, Connor.
Yeah, is there any changes, or is that it?
I've changed nothing. Literally the exact same 11 for my team. I just don't believe in dropping players that have performed that well.
Yeah, I could see Cahill coming in though. The fact that he didn't play midweek, but like maybe Klopp was resting him for this game.
Perhaps. I would have flipped around the other way though. I would have thought that was the safer game to play him in, the home game, an away derby. We know Cahill does have a little bit of a temper. We've seen him pick up yellows and reds at Leipzig, so I wouldn't want him to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I suppose the biggest question is if Firmino will start or not, or if he'll play at all.
That is the big question. I just think if we could get away with not playing Bobby tomorrow, and by get away I mean allow him to have that bit more of a rest before the next game, which is a full week after this one away. That would give him plenty of time to recover. It'd be almost like a little mid-season break for him.
Yeah, there's no need to rush him back if you don't need him. Like Origi was great in the last game, so more than sound to have him, and Mane up front is giving more chance up there.
Well, for your own team selection, mate, have you made any changes? Or are you expecting? You said maybe Naby Keita. Anybody else you're expecting to come in?
No, it's just Keita I was thinking, and even that I don't know who would come in for. Like you said, you don't want to drop players who are playing well, but plus Milner's getting on in years now. Like he might be starting to need breaks, but I say that, but then again he's a machine. So it's hard to know.
Irla was saying City just scraping the win again today, which they did. Like they won 1-0, but I was looking at the stats of the game and it was ridiculous. I mean,
80% possession, doesn't it?
Like 12 or 14 corners or something like that. Bournemouth didn't have a single shot on target. Yeah, it was a pretty one-sided game, but that just goes to show you that possession at times doesn't mean too much, Connor. I mean, they got the goal, like no arguing, they got the goal, fair play to them. But with that type of possession, you could have seen that game being 3, 4, 5 or 6-0. And I'm going to take any little positive I can from it, so I'm showing that as a sign that their attack is not on form.
Yeah, sure, even the last game was 1-0 as well, wasn't it? And like you said about possession, didn't we go to Burnley 2 years ago, wasn't it? We had 80% possession and lost 2-0. Sorry to bring that up, but this is crazy how games go sometimes.
It is. And taking it back to tomorrow, guys. Connor, I've gone for 3-1. What's your score prediction for the game?
I'd go with 2-0 or 2-1. Say 2-0.
2-0 would do me fine. That'll do me grand. Another clean sheet. We'll just go through some of the comments. Hang on. Transfer wish list, Krishna. I will get back to that one, mate, because that's an interesting conversation point and one I will get to in a second. Good evening, boy, as well, mate. Great to have you in. Paul Turner reckons ideally like a 6-0 win, but one will do. No play Firmino and Hendo, said Dave. Leave them both on the bench. And John Hamilton said another positive was Kevin De Bruyne went off with injury. I don't know how serious that is. He did go back to the bench, I believe, which is always a sign that it isn't too serious. Usually if it's more of a serious injury, they go down and get treatment and stay away. Maybe, again, I don't wish injury on any other player, but I suppose if he is injured or anyone does pick up injuries, it will play into our hands a little bit.
Yeah, is he becoming a bit injury prone, do you think? Seems to be picking up a lot of knocks recently.
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm almost afraid to say anything bad about him in case it just jinxes me and he just comes back and has a fantastic end to the season, because it hasn't been his greatest season so far by any stretch, has it?
No, that's because he was injured a lot, though. He's missed a lot of games. Like that, he was instrumental to that team last year. Like he's one of the main reasons they did hit 100 points.
Yeah, that is true. He was outstanding last year and he was very unlucky. It was really touch and go between him and Mohamed Salah for the player of the season last year. I think anyone could have understood either of the two players picking up the award.
Yeah, any other year, if Salah hadn't been there, like any other year, De Bruyne would have walked that for player of the year.
Yeah, he was very unlucky that Salah's such a one-season wonder, isn't he?
Oh, he's the worst one-season wonder ever. The fucker scores every week, like. So bad.
That's it. Luis Suarez has 16 goals for Barcelona in the league. He has 17 for us, but yeah, he's a flop. It's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, yeah. Worst flop ever.
Hamstring injury, said Paul Dunning with regards to De Bruyne. My head was gone there. I was reading another comment. October's gone for a 7-0 demolishing tomorrow. I mean, that's very, very optimistic, I think.
I take that, I'll say.
Brian Morrissey said Guardiola said he's going to be out for a while. Hamstring. Of course, there's no international break then for him. That's a nice little break for him. He won't go to the international break because we do know Manchester City players have a little habit, don't they, of not liking to go off on international duty. Mad that time where all our Brazilians headed off and I think none of theirs, or maybe one of theirs, headed off.
Yeah, they always seem to miss the friendlies. It's very suspicious.
Right, some more comments. Let me see. Have you seen Leon Bailey linked to Leicester for 40 million? Said Boy. I did not, mate. I'm not going to lie though, I don't really look up too much on Leicester transfer targets, but I didn't see the story in the news. But I did see the one you mentioned yesterday, buddy, that Leicester apparently have 200 million to spend. So as I was saying yesterday, expect in Barini, Joe Allen,
Andy Carroll.
Yeah, Andy Carroll maybe as well. Although Andy Carroll was Roy Hodgson, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was. Benteke, as I went to say.
Who else have we bring in as well? We've done that. Iago Aspas. That's another one you can look forward to. It'd be interesting to see how Rodgers does, actually. It'd be interesting to see as well, boy, if Rodgers does have the pulling power. Like, the Premier League is no doubt does have pulling power, but some of the things we found with Brendan Rodgers is, Connor, he wasn't able to do what Jurgen Klopp was able to do, which was attract a player that was probably a little bit above the calibre of the squad that we had at the time.
Yeah, like I remember seeing stories of Gerrard saying you had to like Rodgers basically come to him and Gerrard would start texting the player asking him to come and bigging up the club. Like, and it's fairly pathetic when you think about it. Like I remember hearing he was like texting Tony Cruz trying to get him. It's just crazy. Like,
Oh, sorry, I picked up Dave Sweeney's comment wrong earlier. He said I'd play Hendo and Firmino. Origi did well, but I'd play Hendo and Firmino. Sorry, mate, I read that one wrong. Ben reckons 2-0 win for the Reds, but far from comfortable. At the end of the day, like most people, I suppose, it's 3 points for me tomorrow, Connor. Anything after that, I don't care how it comes. I don't care if it's another Origi in the 95th minute after T-Rex just bounces one off the crossbar. It doesn't matter one bit.
it would be nice when another one, another shithouse goal. Keep the streak going.
Craig, what's the MLS before Orlando against Checkbook Charlie USA? I did see some of it, mate. I watched the first half. It was 2-2 last I seen actually in the score. I don't know if that's how it finished. It was Orlando City against Manchester City. Big LFC fan, always have been, because you give me your honest opinion on the 3 forwards in the last 5 games. I don't always get to watch the matches, said Jack O'Connor. I think, Connor, it's probably fair to say Mane's been a little bit hit and miss over the past few games. Outstanding against Watford, and the previous game or two wasn't quite at his best.
Yeah, he's having a really good season, though, hasn't he? Like I think hasn't he already beaten his best goal tally? He's like 15 now, I think.
Yeah, that is true. He has, yeah, which is great, and well done to Sadio for that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does in the striker role again if he does play there tomorrow. Seems
Yeah,
very soon. Like,
do you think he will?
I hope so. If Firmino doesn't play, if Firmino plays, then obviously stick him back on the wing. But I'd like to see him there again to see how he does.
Tom Chambers reckons Naby Keita's going to score his first goal tomorrow. So many Reds, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be on YouTube, so many people are just urging him to get that goal, Connor.
Oh, he's so unlucky. Like, it wasn't which game was it? But 3 games ago, didn't he score? It's like if that had gone in, it would have changed everything. Just would have that monkey off his back, like.
True. I think I read somewhere in the media as well. One of the Liverpool players said the same. They think he just needs that goal to get a confidence boost. And look, I'm expecting big things from Naby Keita over his time at Liverpool. I think he's a fantastic player, and I've said all season, if we don't see the best of him this season, then so be it. But he did ask about the front 3, so I do want to respect the guy's question and go back through the rest. Mo Salah, Connor, for you this season, how's he been? Or sorry, it was the past 5 games, I should say. Sorry, he asked about the past 5 games.
He's been gone missing a bit, hasn't he? He hasn't been as involved as he was before that, but I wouldn't say he's playing bad exactly. I think it's just that he's played so well that we have high expectations now, and like he's going to go through dips of form. Obviously, like he's human, like, and like we can see that Mane is starting to pick up form, so like it's not too big a deal. We're still scoring goals.
Yeah, that's true. Bobby Firmino, I think for him it's been a strange old season, hasn't it? He's had to come deep at times. He's been moved around a little bit. His work rate's always been there, but again, probably hasn't been his best season in a Liverpool shirt.
No, it's hard to get going though, isn't it? Like you said, he's been playing like kind of attacking mid more than striker like he was last year, and just trying to adapt still. But again, he hasn't been playing bad exactly. Like he's still having a good season for his, like, not by his old standards, but he's still having a decent season. Like.
Yeah, true. Look, it's hard to be critical of anybody when before today's games we were sitting top of the table and we'd lost 1 league game all season, and that was away to the champions.
Yeah, we're being very picky here, like.
Yeah, exactly, and it's good that we're at the level where we're critiquing, I suppose, at this rate. It is sometimes difficult though, because sometimes you go onto social media and you would assume that we're falling apart or something. Yeah, I don't get it sometimes. Sometimes I just don't get the negativity amongst our own fan base.
I think people just like to have a moan, not they? I don't
I'm
get why
buzzing
people
though.
do.
I'm absolutely buzzing with where we are.
I'm just trying not to get too excited, to be honest. Don't want to let myself get ahead of myself, like.
Sorry, did I see somebody in the chat slagging off our October.
He keeps coming back in as well. Fuck off, man. Just fuck off.
Swagger, mate, look, you're hiding behind a keyboard, being a sad little twat, throwing around racial slurs about people's religion and stuff, you horrible excuse for a human being. I promise you, mate, you will never in your life say that to somebody's face because they'll break your jaw, and rightly so. You disrespectful little shit. Just seriously, mate, just do one.
He keeps coming back
October's a
in with different
legend.
accounts.
October's a legend. We all love October on here. Every single one of us, to a man, woman, or child. Even my teddy bear loves October. And we will defend her to the end because I tell you what, mate, she knows more about football, or she'll have forgotten more about football than you'll ever know. Yeah, absolute gobshite. Sorry about that, October. I apologise that you had to put up with that. Let's bring it back around. Craig Virgil's my current favourite player, said Stevie Richards. And Stevie lives, as you know, Connor, Stevie lives in an area full of blue shites. He calls it the Alamo. So big day for Stephen Richards tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for him. Hopefully it's a good one.
It will be. I mean, you've been living at large over the last 10 games, Stephen, to be fair, as we said. You haven't had to put up with a loss for 10 games so far. So fingers crossed that run continues for you tomorrow, mate. A couple more bits and pieces, ladies and gents. Some transfer rumours for you. Thank you to October for this one, by the way. According to reports in Spain, Real Madrid want to sign Mohamed Salah and are willing to offer Liverpool €120 million plus Isco. And what are your thoughts on this, everybody? And Connor, look, I'll come to you first on this. We kind of spoke about this on WhatsApp a little bit back and forth, but I would love to know your thoughts on it.
I'd rather us not take that deal if it was on the table, but like I said to you earlier, if we were going to sell Salah, I would rather something like that with money plus a player to come in. Because like if we're just given 200 million or whatever, then we go to sign someone, they're just going to jack up the prices because they know we have all that money. So if we can just get someone like Isco or Bale or Dybala, whoever's in straight away, then I think it's just a better situation. Like,
yeah, true.
But
true.
Ideally we wouldn't lose him, obviously. I'd love to keep him.
Yeah, see, I don't think anybody really wants to lose Mo Salah in any circumstance. That's the problem here. It's nice being linked to a player, as you said, like Dybala or Isco, but nobody wants to lose Mo. Absolutely nobody.
Would you take that if it was offered, or would you consider it so?
No, I wouldn't. We know what we're getting with Mo, and to us as fans, sometimes does the money really mean anything when you've got the guarantee of a player that's there, that's doing well? Look, no, for me I wouldn't. There probably are deals out there somewhere that I would take, but this isn't one of them. Right, who else we got? Pity Atkinson is the ref tomorrow, said Paul Turner. Look, we've been lucky. I think the last couple of games Premier League referees have been okay towards us. There's one I mentioned to you earlier on, Connor, actually, regarding transfers, and this is more of an incoming. I said to you I was looking at Lanzini playing for West Ham, and it kind of got me thinking back to us being linked with him last year.
Yeah, I don't know if he's good enough. I haven't seen an awful lot of him, but like from like even West Ham fans don't think even rate him that highly, from what I've seen.
I don't know. He
has
was
the potential,
definitely
obviously.
somebody. He was definitely somebody we were linked to before the World Cup last year. He was definitely somebody that that we were looking at. Now, he did pick up that injury, of course, that ruled him out of the World Cup and has kept him out for most of this season as well. I was never fully convinced on him, but I don't know. I'm struggling for tens, you see. I'm struggling for somebody to play in that role or to be the playmaker for us, and that's somebody that I think we need. And we talked about Dybala, we talked about Isco. Some other people mentioned the guy from Ajax. What's his name again?
Ziyech.
Yes, Ziyech. Yeah, somebody mentioned him as well a few times, and I mean, I'd probably put Lanzini at around the same level as Ziyech in my head anyway. I know people out there might be saying Ziyech is better, but...
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm finished, go on.
You can make the argument that Lanzini is Premier League proven now at this point as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's the kind of player that Klopp would turn into someone better. Like, no, he just improves everyone by about 60% at least.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk has been, as we said yesterday, him and Sadio Mane are up for the Player of the Month award for February. The last 2 months haven't been won by Mohamed Salah, so if you haven't voted for that one, I'm sure the voting is still open. If you haven't voted, guys, please do so. Johnny Gooch reckons Mane needs to improve his shot goal conversion rate. Yeah, look, he can be a little bit frustrating, mate. I'm not gonna lie. There are times, you've heard me, Connor. You've been there with me firsthand, where I've been screaming at the television to Sadio Mane. what does my head in is when he smiles after he misses. I mean, I lose my shit over that, folks. I'm not gonna lie.
It's crazy how much he falls over as well, even when he scores. Do you ever see like compilations of him scoring and half of me just ends up on the ground for no reason?
No, no, can't say I have.
He falls over for every second goal. It's ridiculous.
That is nuts. Sorry, I'm reading through some comments here. I've gotten things flashing up on my screen as well from WhatsApp and stuff, and I'm trying to concentrate. Sorry, I can get distracted so easily, ladies and gents. I do apologise. I'd love to know your thoughts, to everybody, on Lanzini, and I'd love to know your thoughts as well on the Isco and Salah thing. Or is there any deal that you would take for Mohamed Salah? The LFC_5 said, I'd take the Isco on 120 million because we could buy another world class right winger with that 120. Osama's Taste Cave. Osama's Taste Cave? That's a weird one. Lanzini isn't talented enough, is his comment, or hers. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. I'm just, because it's Osama, I'm assuming you're a man, even though you're talking. Yeah, look, I'm not burying myself in that. I've dug enough of a hole with that one. I'm moving out. Awfully British said, I'm sorry, but Salah is good but not amazing. We've had great strikers and we'll even more great strikers. No hate, Salah has been amazing. Yes, he has been amazing. He is about to become the fastest player in Premier League history to 50 goals though. So that's what I put back to anybody who says he's not doing that great, Connor. He still has, I think, one more, maybe two more games to break that record.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many games, but I'm predicting he'll score tomorrow. I have him and Mane score tomorrow, so hopefully he will.
There you go. You can take that to the bank, ladies and gents. Just not my bank, because my bank's empty. John Hamilton said, we could put a stop to all the ridiculous Salah offers coming in. Simply put out there, anyone wanting to buy him would be looking at 200 million starting point. So there might be just somebody mad enough, John, to come in and put that down on the table, though. That's the thing. I think, Connor, we're at a point where we just have to be adding. We can't be selling on any of our top players for the next few seasons. We've got to dig our heels in.
Yeah, like you look back to the United team that just like dominated the league when they never resold all their good players. Like, so why should we?
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo, even at Ronaldo, they probably dragged that one out as far as they could as well. I mean, I think they dragged that one out as long as they could possibly drag it out before they moved him on.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it wasn't like they built a team just around him as well. But like, I know we haven't done the same with Salah either. But like, they didn't let any of their good players go. So why should we?
True.
Like I said, just add on more players.
Natural Opinion says any club wanting to win the Premier League and Champions League does not sell their best players unless they want to go. Lanzini's a good player. I expect us to go back in from in the summer, said Skipper Dog. And what else have we got comment wise? Is Salah as great as we think, said Tonic. How much of it has to do with our system? We had this similar conversation around Luis Suarez as well, but a little bit the other way. We were thinking that he was saving the entire system, or people were thinking that he was the saviour to the entire system. What's your take on this, Connor? Is Salah as good as many of us think?
It's hard to know, isn't it? Because I think he is a fantastic player, but would he do as well in a different team? Like, is it our system that suits him so well? Like, if you dropped him into Man City's team or Madrid's team, say, like, how would he go on, do you think?
Yeah, like you have to give the manager credit, I suppose, as well. He was doing well at Roma, but then he came to Liverpool and his game went on another level. And you have to give the manager credit for finding a system, I suppose, to suit him. But it's a little bit of both, I would say, Tonic. I'm just glad he's at the club. I just keep coming back to that in my head. When we signed him, I don't think any of us thought that we were getting the calibre of footballer that we have. I thought a lot of us probably thought we were getting a good player, Connor, but I didn't expect last season's numbers from him.
Don't think anyone did, no. Like, I remember when we signed him, everyone's like, oh, what are we doing spending 35 million on a player who's going to be back up to Mane? Like, how do people think he was going to sit on the bench after bringing him in? It's just ridiculous. Yeah, and now he's this, like, he's the best player in the league.
And this season he's coming back as well from that shoulder injury as well. That kind of delayed the start of the season because he was rushed back through the World Cup and we didn't really see the best of him at the World Cup, which is a shame, but I'm sound with him. If he hits 20 goals this season, that's good enough for me in the Premier League, Connor.
If he doesn't do anything again at the end of the season, I don't care. He still had a good season, like.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's for me, it's just all about the points on the board for the club, and I don't care who scores the goals. I don't care if you win every game 1-0. It's about finishing as close to the top of that league table at the end of the season as possible. And what we've done so far in pulling back in a Manchester City team who are probably the strongest assembled squad in the Premier League history, I think we're doing very well to go toe to toe with them.
Exactly, like we're ahead of them. Like I know we're not right now, but we will be again. People People don't give us enough credit for that.
Joshua Hoy said, I don't want Salah to go, but if he was to go, I'd rather have Dybala. It seems like Juventus are open to selling Dybala, from what I've read, because they're not happy with the way he's fitted into the system with Ronaldo or his performance levels. I don't watch enough of Juventus to really comment on this, but like you, Joshua, I'd take him. Would you, Connor?
So, when you just said that, something clicked in my head. Like, you say that Juventus actually want or are open to getting rid of him. Does that mean he's just not good enough, do you think? Like, do we want players who are being thrown away by other teams? Like, obviously, different system he might do better, and like Klopp, like I said, just gets the best out of players. So, like, from what I've seen of him, he's brilliant. So I would take him, but I'd be concerned as to whether he'd be as good as Salah would be.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I'm somebody that likes to just keep what we've got rather than gamble on something else. I know what we have with Mo Salah. I know what he's capable of, and he haven't hit his peak yet. I think he's still got a year or two before he probably gets to his peak as a footballer. So I'm happy to just keep him.
Yeah, unless there's something ridiculous.
World record numbers start coming in.
Yeah, if start throwing 300 and 400 million on the table, then maybe. But like, other than that, nah, don't bother.
What else we got? Did you hear about Grabara's comments on Alisson? Said Demolady Moses. I did, mate, I did. And I'm all for somebody bigging himself up. I don't think he was being demeaning towards Alisson. I just think he was backing himself. Did you see these comments, Connor?
I didn't, no.
Basically, he said something along the lines of, I can perform the same as Alisson in training, and if I can perform at that level, then I think I can be as good as Alisson. I'm kind of stretching here a little bit, but it was something along those lines.
It's good to hear him backing himself that much. Like he obviously has talent. So
yeah, I'm all for players backing themselves. All for players backing themselves.
Be interesting to see if he gets a chance next year as number 2. Like, if we're getting rid of Mignolet.
Well, he seems to be performing very well on loan so far, from what I've read. So fingers crossed he keeps performing. I mean, the more pressure we have on every position in the club, the better you'd expect everybody to perform. So you've got Grabara, you've got Queevy Kelleher, we've got Alisson, and there's another couple of younger keepers as well, isn't there? I know I'm forgetting about one. Grabara, Kelleher, Alisson. God, who's the other young keeper that went to Tranmere?
Or Bogdan. Go for him.
No, not 118. Somebody in the chat will always let us know. They always save my ass.
I've gone completely blank. Can't think of him.
I can't think of his name. See, I always get people mixed up. I always get the younger players' names mixed up. Shamal George, that's the one. Thank you, mate.
Oh, he played striker one night, wouldn't he? The friendly.
I think he did, actually, yeah. I think you're right.
Was a sub.
Who's this plank that keeps coming back in?
I'll just keep kicking him out.
Why do people come in... YouTube, can you educate me on this, guys? Because I'm a bit silly in this. Why do people come in and write the word smear?
Because they're idiots.
But what's the point of it? Are we talking about, what ladies have to go through just to make sure that their health is okay? Or... I mean, is this an advert? Are we looking after women's health? Because if that's the case, I'm all on board with it. I'm all on board for looking after women's health, by all means, but I don't quite think that that's what they're after here, Connor.
No, just ignore them for all idiots.
I'll take your smear and I'll raise you a cunt.
Yeah, cunt's such a better word, like.
Like smear. I mean, come on. I know you're probably 12, but smear? Seriously? Can we at least use correct language? If we're like smear. Large smear was another one, by the way, ladies and gents, that was thrown. Large smear, well, that just completely belittles the other one. I mean, now that you've raised it to a large smear, I don't know. And his name's Smear as well, so it's brilliant. He really is. I mean, I wish I had so much free time on my hands, I really do. Treat yourself, mate, you know the rest. If you don't know the rest, then look it up. What else have we got? There's more comments I have here, actually. Oh, Mane. Yes, October sent me this earlier on as well. Mane said that when they found out he was playing up front, Genie told them... hang on. No, Mane said that when they found out he was playing up front... No, I'm confused here. Who was it told them this? Van Dijk, I think it was. Said that when they found out we were playing up front... No, I'm going to go back here. Imagine I didn't speak for about 15 seconds, right? Just imagine. We'll all imagine that. Here we go. Sadio Mane said that when they found that he was playing up front, Genie Wijnaldum turned around to him and said, if you score, we'll call you Ronaldo. If not, you're shit. And I love that. I love that type of stuff in the dressing room. And I love that it comes out. I love that we're hearing about it. It just goes to show that they're not feeling the pressure, Connor. They're calm. They're composed.
They're just having a laugh, having the crack, like, yeah. No
Absolutely.
pressure there.
None whatsoever. Everybody in the media is trying to ramp up the pressure. Manchester City, did you hear? God, what journalist was it? Chris Bascom came out and said that he feels like there must have been a memo come out from Manchester City this week to get all the ex-players out to start talking about the pressure being on Liverpool and the crowd putting pressure on Liverpool. And I mean, come on. That's
All this talking
ridiculous.
shite.
Raheem Sterling came out and said
Ridicule.
he felt like there's more pressure at Liverpool than at Manchester City because of the crowd. And I'm thinking, well, you've given the answer there, Raheem. We have a crowd. Therein lies the answer, mate. We have a crowd, people that actually care. At Manchester City, you don't have that crowd. I mean, they were
You
supporting.
can't have a nervous atmosphere if you know people in the stadium, like.
Exactly, they were supporting Chelsea a couple of seasons ago. It's a long drive for them. It's a long commute up. So, yeah, look, it's nonsense, isn't it? It just means more to Liverpool fans. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. Media just spinning it stupidly, like, and it's all biased towards City. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like when we win the league, ladies and gents. What do you think? How will it be
They'll, sti-
reported?
they'll still somehow just not report it. They'll find some
I've
way
actually
to
thought
broadcast
about
it.
this. I'm not going to lie. I've sat down and thought about this. I've sat down and thought about how they'll play this out and how it'll be reported. And I've thought in my head about how they'd report it if City won it and if it'll be equal. And yeah, I'm probably going a little bit too far ahead of myself here, if I'm being honest.
What have you come to the conclusion? What will be the headline, do you think? Sky Sports today, we win the league. What will they say, do you think?
They'll go on about City having a double or something. City will be in the FA Cup final, or
The
they'll have
double is
maybe.
still on, will be the main headline.
Yeah. City's still looking to gazump Liverpool by winning the double or something like that. I mean, they could. What really made me laugh was they spoke about when Manchester City won the League Cup. They spoke about Pep Guardiola being the first manager to retain a major trophy with Manchester City.
Oh, who's that
I
major
just thought, look,
trophy?
we're stretching. We're stretching it. Look, it's a fair play to them. They won a trophy. I'm not going to belittle it, but well, I am going to belittle it just a little bit. To say that he reclaimed a major, he's not won the fucking Champions League back to back here. Like, come on, let's be fair.
Yeah,
Well,
if
he
it's the
has.
league or
I
something,
think.
you say fair enough, but like,
Well,
Jesus
actually, has he?
Christ, League
Did he win
Cup.
it? No, he didn't win it back to back with Barca either, did he?
Not sure Real Madrid were the first team to do it in years when they won it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, look. He's a great manager. I'm not disrespecting Pep Guardiola. I never would. He's a fantastic manager. He actually looks like a really nice fella as well. But I mean, fuck off. They were calling us bottlers when we dropped less points to Manchester City. Well, no, the media weren't calling us bottlers. I mean, that would be absolutely over the top if Sky Sports came out and said, this just in, Liverpool are bottlers. I mean, come on, that would be a little bit much. But
Like, people
yeah,
forget, Man City went through a rough patch and lost 2 games. We went through a rough patch and drew 2 games. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get why we're seen as bottlers when they're fucking worse, like.
yeah, it's just mental. It's all about perception. It's all about perception. People are trying to build the pressure up onto Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp's job is to just make sure the Liverpool players don't feel that pressure. And it's our job as fans as well, particularly those that are lucky enough to be inside Anfield, to make sure that it was like Wednesday night against Watford, because that was absolutely outstanding, and that's what's needed for the remaining 5 league games at home this season. So well done to everyone that was at that game. Keep it going. And tomorrow, Connor, is such a big game. If we get through that game tomorrow, pick up 3 points, and have got through a week where we played Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Everton, and still come out on top of the Premier League at the end of it, that'll do me nicely.
Yeah, it's a tough week, like, and like you said, if we come through that and still top, it's a very, very good sign, because that's kind of like the biggest challenge over us, isn't it, at that stage? I think, do we have Chelsea at home still, I think, and Spurs?
Chelsea and
But
Spurs at home, yeah.
we don't have any, like, really tough away games, do we? I know all games are tough to an extent, but no big teams, is there?
No, this would be probably classed as the toughest of our away games. As you said, you've got to be respectful towards all Premier League clubs, because anybody can beat anybody, but yeah, you would certainly say that this week would have been down as a tough week for Liverpool. And if we can pick up 3 points tomorrow, got 3 points against Watford, a draw against United, a scoreless draw against Bayern Munich, and it's not the end of the world at all.
Yeah, I get a bit of momentum going then, and happy days into the end of the season then.
A couple of questions here. What time is the watch along tomorrow? Is it 4:15 kickoff tomorrow? I'm sure it is.
I think so.
3:45. 3:45, Scotty, mate. Craig, are you going live on Instagram tonight? No, I'm not, and here's why. I've decided that with Instagram, we've noticed it's just the same people coming back over. So rather than drag everybody, I'll just stay on a few more minutes on YouTube tonight rather than drag everyone over to Instagram. What I will do is when things happen, so when there's breaking news or we sign a player or something major happens, I'll do a little Instagram video. I think that's probably the best way to do it, Connor. Just do some reactionary stuff rather than talk about the exact same stuff I've just mentioned on a YouTube stream.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Just kind of update people.
And plus, I'm so just getting to grips on Instagram. I mean, I've stayed away from it my entire life because look at me. Nobody wants to see this taking selfies and going up on Instagram. So I've kind of veered away from it. Big Hawk Divock to score the winner was Hampton Wick, said Kev. It took me a while to figure out what you were going with there, Kev. But you could just say Dick, mate. It's all right. John, how are you, pal? Great to have you in. Looking forward to the derby tomorrow. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Guys, John Frusciante there, as you can see, runs a very, very, very good podcast. If you've ever heard of the New York Cosmos, which I'm sure you have, Pele played there amongst other players as well. John runs a podcast for the Cosmos, so check it out. John, if you want to put the link in, no, you can't put the link in. If you want to put the name of it in the chat or anything, buddy, please feel free to so people can find it. I'm always up for sharing people's accounts and stuff for letting other people's business be known, because if you put enough effort into make content, you want as many people as you can to hear that content or get to see it, so I'm always happy to share. What else have we got? When Liverpool win the league, I'm just picturing Cara and Neville banter, said Sean W. Craig has his own fan page on Instagram, said Kev. Yeah, let's not talk about that, Kev. We'll just push that to one side. Yeah, it's true actually. Funnily enough, it is true, and Connor even makes an appearance on that Instagram page. My wife follows it. There you go. Just to try and get them numbers up past 4. No, look, it's weird. It's stuff like this. I mean, somebody described me as famous the other day, and look, whilst I'm the furthest thing possible from famous, it is odd when at times people recognise you or thank you for merely just replying to them and stuff. Look, we're all the same. I've said this, Connor, since we started this. We're all just fans. Nobody here is special. Nobody here has any more knowledge or insight than anybody else. Nobody's a pundit. Nobody is a coach. We're all just fans, and I just look at myself as a conduit between the chat and people's comments, and that's it. None of us think our shit doesn't stink, mate.
Exactly, like we're all just a bunch of idiots really at the end of the day, just having a laugh, like pretty much how to sum it up. Well, me and you and I'm not sure about everyone in the chat, but me and you definitely just a bunch of idiots.
Complete chancers, absolute chancers. Claire Dean said, we're on our way. Come on the Reds, I'm only seeing a win tomorrow. I'm going 3-0 to the mighty Reds. Here we go. Taxlin said, why was you bullying that girl on Twitter because she was just having a bit of banter? Well, first things first, mate, I bullied absolutely fucking nobody. Now, you've come into my domain here on YouTube where I can actually talk about this in an open manner. Look through the comments, and I'll read them out from my recollection. She commented, Anfield Agenda are going to give me a free shirt. My comment was, we really aren't. She came back with something along the lines of, I didn't want one, you probably couldn't give one to me anyway, blah, blah, blah. There was a bit of back and forth. There was no abuse whatsoever. Absolutely no abuse whatsoever. Come on here and tell me to stop being salty all you like, mate. I was not abusive in any way, shape or form. I could give you my honest thoughts on this one, but I'm trying to bite my tongue on it. And look, ask the people in the chat here, the people who see every single night, ask them, am I abusive towards people? Ask them, do they treat women with respect on here? Because I'm not putting up with this shit, buddy. I didn't disrespect anybody. I answered the lady's questions. I didn't call her anything. I didn't undermine her. I wasn't misogynistic towards her. So if she feels offended by it, obviously I'm sorry about that, because my aim is never to offend anybody. But don't come on here and try and make something out like something that it wasn't, because it simply isn't. Now feel free to ask any single person in this chat, any lady that appears in here, if I've ever disrespected them on this chat, ever cringed on them. Because let's be fair about this one. We go back to that comment and that lady's comment. Look underneath. There was people hitting on her left, right and centre. Go back to the very start yesterday when she put her first picture in. I defended her. 2 or 3 people commented and I said, mate, come on, stop. That's cheesy. So I did my best to protect that lady on there. So if she feels slighted because I wouldn't give her a free top, that is not my problem. I did not abuse her. I don't abuse people. It's not something that I do. I'm a fair person. So to come on with your nonsense to try and make out like I'm some big bad fucking bully that I am is bullshit. I'm sorry. It's just bullshit. And as I said, anybody in the chat there now, feel free. I will read out every single comment. If anybody feels that I abused them on here before, female or otherwise, let me know. Because I don't fucking do it, dickhead. So I'm sorry. Don't come on here and try to belittle me on my own show. I gave your comment the time because I wanted to address the issue. Because that's what... I'm a fair person. I don't like to just delete things and hide behind it. That's my thoughts on it. If people disagree, that's their prerogative. And that's all I really have to say in it. Unless, of course, there's any comments here that say otherwise, which I will happily read out. Because I'm a fair person. But again, you're just another person hiding behind a fake account. If you want to have this out, mate, come on, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about this in an open, frank manner, on Skype, on the show. And you can use your real name and stop hiding behind fake accounts. Like many other people on Twitter who suddenly grow a pair of balls and think that they have something to say. You all hide behind fake accounts trolling because you're cowardly little fucks. I come on here every night, put my face to the camera, use my real name, because I've got nothing to hide. That's the difference between me and all these little wannabe fucking heroes on Twitter and every other social media platform. I have the balls to stand up here and say what the fuck I think in front of a camera with my own name. Anybody wants to come on and have a conversation about it, feel fucking free, but we'll do it on my fucking terms in front of a camera with our real names. Otherwise, fuck off, stop wasting my time and grow a pair of balls. End of. And that's it. Put this on fucking Twitter. Do what you want. You can kiss my ass, each and every single one of you that think that I belittle people. Because I couldn't give a shiny shit. That's the end of that, my ladies and gentlemen. My ladies and gentlemen isn't even a sentence, but that's the end of that anyway. Right, so let me go. Let me just try and find a single comment here that said I've ever abused anyone. Right, here we go. Right, scroll down. Assholes, said Claire. Well said, said Jay Spurs. Tell him, Craig. Oh, look, all these people agreeing with me. And why might that be? Because these people actually know me. These people come on here every night and are good enough to grace us with their time, and we appreciate it. We show them respect and they give it back. They're not some trolling little shit trying to play a knight in shining armour behind a false account on Twitter. Because he wants to make it out like he's fucking hard. Fuck that. I call stuff for what it is. That was some Dolly Bird chancing her arm. Let's be fucking fair. She didn't like hearing the word no. I'm sorry if that offended her. But I don't buy into that shit. I'm not somebody that goes on Twitter and goes, can I slide into your DMs? Send me nudes. And other comments that were like, you should show the see-through top. I'm not that type of person. I call things as I fucking well see them. I'm as clean and as open as anything on here. I've nothing to hide. All you little cowardly pricks that hide behind accounts on Twitter, that try and troll people, that try and make it out like your shit doesn't stink, fuck you. Come on here, use your real name, and we'll have this conversation. Other words, stop wasting my fucking time and piss off my fucking screen. Now, apologies to October, because you're going to have to deal with this backlash because you're on the Twitter account. So I do apologise on that one, October. But nobody is going to come on and try and act like they've got a pair. Get in front of the camera. We'll talk on here with people listening. Not because you're trying to act like a knight in shining armour or some Billy Big Bollocks. Stanley Housemate, and I'm calling you out on here. I'm calling you out personally, little prick. You want to come on here and have this out and stop hiding behind your account. I know all about you, mate. You forgot that. I know you're a little tweet stealing shit. You want to come on here and have this conversation out, dickhead? Let's have it out. I know, I won't even go into your personal circumstances, mate, because I won't disrespect you in that sense, because I know you have stuff to deal with. But don't ever act like a knight in shining armour dickhead and think you can come on and fucking belittle me on Twitter because you want to fucking see some young one's knickers. Grow a pair of balls and speak up, you little prick. Come on here and we will have it out happily, but we'll have it out over the fucking microphones, mate, where people can hear what we're saying. Other words, you're a cowardly little shit like the rest of the little trolls, and you can suck my nuts. And there we go, ladies and gents. I told you, Craig 2.0. I'm not hiding behind anything anymore. People can kiss my fucking ass. They want to come on here and have a conversation, we'll have it. But don't try and hide behind Twitter. Try and hide behind fake accounts. Because you're all cowardly little piss ants. All you little trolls. You haven't got the balls to come on and have a conversation. The world is full of you little pricks. Come on here, any of you, and we'll have a conversation. But you won't. Because you don't courage. And therein lies the difference, my friends. Therein lies the difference. You all want other people to fail because you're miserable little fucks that haven't got any talent. You haven't got the get up and go to try and start something because you're afraid of failure. Therefore, you spend your time trying to belittle others and hoping other people fail. I'm not going to fail, dickheads, because I'll work harder than any of you. I'll come on here. I'm consistent night after night. I treat the kind people, my subscribers and Connor's subscribers, that are good enough to come on here every night and give us their time. I'll show them the respect that they deserve. But come at me and we'll sort it out. But other words, just fuck off. You're a coward. Now, I apologise to our subscribers that had to listen to that rant. I'm going to go back to being normal now, I promise. Every so often, yeah, you get these things. Connor said he's afraid to speak, but you never have to be afraid to speak. You know me by now. I need a little rant.
I just made a cup of tea there and drank it and went to the toilet and had a shower and had dinner and went to sleep and woke up there while you were ranting.
My throat's so dry, mate. I need to drop a Diet Coke after that.
Sorry, October wants to bring something out for her here.
Yeah, go ahead.
She said, this one time I got bullied outside the Shankly gates by this 11-year-old in full Evertonian kid wankery. Devastated. Hope we fucking destroyed him.
Love it. I've always had a begrudging respect for the derby in the sense that you see people sitting beside each other, families sitting together, families divided by loyalty, some blue, some red. It's a strange old derby in that sense, isn't it?
It is weird, yeah. Obviously not local to Liverpool, so I don't really know what that's like, but it's a strange dynamic, like.
Craig, don't let the haters trick you. It's not haters, mate. That's the funny thing. They just want to stick up, pretend they're sticking up and doing the noble thing for some lady that was crying because she did get a free shirt. They're making up that I was abusive towards her, putting stuff out of context and screenshotting it because they all want to be Johnny Hero Pants. If that was a man I was speaking to, and I don't mean to put this in a sexual context, nobody would give a fuck. Nobody would give a fuck, but it's everybody trying to run and be a hero. Be a hero, come on here and talk. Don't hide behind the camera. Don't hide behind a fake account, Stanley House. Don't hide behind a fake account, any of you other trolling the little shits that haven't got the balls to grow up and come on. Other words, you're wasting my goddamn time.
I should make an account and comment and say the same thing so they don't actually care.
I've literally just destroyed our Twitter account, by the way. That's gone. Our Twitter account, October, I'm so sorry. I know you're going to have to deal with this backlash on Twitter. But they're my honest opinions. Yeah, I don't feel I'm disrespectful. The only people I ever disrespect on here are trolls. And you guys have seen that. I have done emails with people back and forth that are having personal issues, and I would never ever talk about those because it's not my place to. I've answered questions on autism. I've dealt with parents that are trying to get their child diagnosed with autism. I've dealt with people that have been bullied. I've been here at 5 o'clock in the morning talking to people who are having mental health issues. I've done lots of stuff that people don't see, but some cowardly little prick thinks he can stand up and become Johnny Big Bollocks because he wants to look like a big man on Twitter. Fuck him. That's my answer to that. Fuck him.
Drops the mic.
That's the difference, mate, is I'm not hiding behind an account. I've said this all the time. Trolls don't have a pair of balls. Trolls get off on making other people feel bad about themselves. They can't do that to me because I refuse to ever feel bad about myself. Because I look at my wife and kids in the eye, and I know every day that I do my best for them, and I do my best for my subscribers and Connor's subscribers on here. And there you go. There's a reason why this account has had over 9,000 subscribers, because people like what we do, and people understand that we have a bit of crack on here, in an Irish sense, I mean.
Yeah, just on trolls, actually, something reminded me. I remember hearing Ricky Gervais talking about a while ago. Like, if you're walking down the street, some random fella just shouts cunt at you, you're not going to let that affect you. So, like, why, if someone random just comes into the chat and says that, why would that affect you? Like,
I don't. Yeah, look, it triggered me on here, to be fair, because somebody came on and it was something that was quite touchy about before I actually came. It's the reason I was late, actually, guys, in full disclosure. It was the reason I was late, because I was trying to talk through this with Connor and it ran over a little bit. So, Claire, thank you for the super chat. That's so kind of you. Are you going to have a bottle of red for tomorrow for the game, or is it a little bit too early for red? In Peru, I got it right this time, Claire. I always said chili. I always said chili, and I explained why. Because I thought red wine, chili, Claire, and I put those three together. I'm so sorry, mate. I know it's Peru. What else we got? Where are all those free shirts? Says Rod. I'm just trying to find some beefcakes to give them to. I've decided full on males only now. I'm giving them the male strippers. That's it. Can we talk about Liverpool now? Yes, Jamie, mate. My apologies. We can certainly talk about it. Some good news from a Liverpool perspective. Ryan Brewster is set for a shock return to full training this week, much sooner than was expected. There'll be lots of good news actually coming from the club this week, Connor, with regards to players coming back a little bit earlier. Ryan Brewster, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, people coming back training that we thought were still a few weeks away. All we need to hear now is that Joe Gomez is good to go and we're laughing.
Yeah, when's Gomez back actually? I didn't hear anything about him lately.
I don't know. And again, I have to thank October for this because October has sent me so many of these little bits and pieces of news clips. So thank you, October, for that. Excuse me. It is great, though, to hear young Ryan Brewster's coming back ahead of schedule because we've had a lot of injuries that have carried over a little bit longer. And for them to come back early is brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. Like we've been talking about him for so long about how good a prospect he is, but we haven't really seen him yet. Like, so it would be good to see him in action if he does get a few games.
Yeah, and the club really rate this guy highly. I mean, they fought hard to keep him last season. They even cancelled the friendly with Borussia Mönchengladbach because they thought that they were tapping him up a little bit. Do you remember that incident last summer?
I do remember that. Yeah, it was kind of similar to us with Van Dijk, was they were trying to tap him up, but yeah, glad we held on to him.
No,
sorry, we didn't do anything there. It was nothing happened there. No, I'm just really glad we kept on to him though. So he does look really.
Nothing happened at all. There was no wristbands in Blackpool. There was no Blackpool Rock. Nothing happened. The funny thing about that is that whole Van Dijk incident. We weren't the only club that met with him, and that's an open secret, I suppose, if you want to call it that. It's well known that there's at least two other clubs that met with Virgil van Dijk, but we were the only ones.
I think was sick of us, like just taking all their best players. I think was just sick of us.
Yeah, and then we sent them Ingsy, didn't we? We made it all better. We eased away with Danny Ings there.
I think Lallana's actually been linked back to Sam, isn't he?
That would make sense, actually. That would make sense. Guys, what do you think on Adam Lallana? Do you think that this is the summer we see Adam Lallana perhaps move on? Have injuries caught up with him, Connor, or has the system moved past him? Because this is a conversation I've had with you off air. I think that the way we've played has moved a little bit past Adam Lallana and he's a split second behind.
It does seem that way when you watch him play, yeah. But it's nuts because like when Klopp came in, like Lallana was a good player, but then he just became like the epitome of what Klopp wanted as a player, and he was probably our best player for a while, or one of the most instrumental anyway. But then didn't he get an injury was he out for like a long time, or am I imagining that? Was he out for like 9 months or something? Right off Unox, I think.
I'm not sure if Lallana was out that long.
Definitely had a few injury problems in it, but yeah, like
he did have a run of injury problems.
Yeah, he seemed to just fall behind them, and it's ended up with what it is now. Like,
is it weird that I'm thinking if there's a small possibility Henderson moves on this summer, it's more likely Lallana moves on?
But just because of the friendship. Yeah, I could see that happening. Like, I don't know if Henderson would leave or not, but I think Lallana wouldn't be too keen on fighting to keep his place, like if Jordan was gone.
And I do have to say, whatever we think about these gentlemen as players or their abilities as human beings, Adam Lallana and Jordan Henderson are unparalleled. They are absolutely amazing. The stuff they do for the club, for charity. We've seen the video of the party that they held, remember, recently, for some kids around the Anfield area. Do you remember the two of them were dancing?
Yeah, I've seen that. It was really good.
And they did their best to keep that under wraps because they don't want the stuff being publicised. They wanted the kids just to have a good afternoon. And that's why I defend Jordan Henderson so much. It's why I like Adam Lallana so much. They're two damn fine lads. Whatever we think about them in a footballing perspective, whether we think they're not quite up to the starting 11, I will defend them to the end when it comes to them as individuals because they've been a credit to this football club, Connor.
Yeah, I haven't a bad word to say about either of them. Like, it's been fantastic. Like, I know you can say what you want about Henderson on the pitch, but off the pitch, he's just a great captain. Like, you see, even after the Roma game, wasn't he? He went over and started pointing to the Sean Cox banner. He made the stewards go and get it for him. Like that kind of stuff is just brilliant.
And rewind back to 13-14, Jordan Henderson picked up a red card that kept him out of the Chelsea game, or the run in the last couple of games, and he made sure, he went to the manager and he said he wanted to take over all media duties and he wanted to take all that pressure away from the rest of the team and do as much as he could to ease the pressure on the rest of his teammates, which again screams captaincy to me.
Yeah, he's a born leader. Like he's brilliant to have at the club.
He is. Yeah, so I'm glad we're all thinking on a similar way to this one. Danny said City scraping through again today, even though they won, still a positive for us. I was thinking that way as well, Danny. As much possession that we touched on earlier on as they did have, they didn't put Bournemouth to the sword. And Bournemouth, I mean, I heard a fair comment actually from Paul Merson, and it's not very often I agree with Mr. Merson, but he did say that for Bournemouth, after getting hammered 5 by Arsenal, was it Arsenal? I think it was Arsenal recently, that for them they couldn't afford to go out there and get hammered again. So for a 1-0 loss to them was perfectly acceptable. Again, well, look, no team wants to lose, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. It was more acceptable, Connor, than them going out there and getting another demoralising hammering.
Yeah, it's true. No one wants to get hammered. It's not good. Like,
Unfortunately, hopefully Everton have to deal with this one tomorrow.
I hope so. Yeah. 4 or 5 nil win would be nice. Like just to pull them down even more.
Tom Boland said I see Lallana going back to Southampton if they stay up. And Elder87 wants to know how long is Fernandinho out for. Does anyone know? The last I heard was the international break, somewhere around that time, but that was a day or two ago.
When is the break actually?
So we have a game tomorrow, then we've got a game the following Sunday, then we have a game on the Wednesday, a game on the Sunday, and then the international break.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
2 weeks roughly. I thought it was 1 week away. I was going through the schedule trying to see what time I could take off, and then realised that it was another whole week away.
Yeah, it's the week after Champions League, isn't it?
You're a disrespectful and disgusting idiot. Stop bullying people because they're more popular than you. You do understand how numbers work, Bradbury, Ethan, don't you, mate? Do you want me to explain numbers to you again? You're obviously another little fanboy of whoever it is I'm supposed to have offended, mate, but it's okay. Numbers work in a way that the bigger numbers have more followers than other people. But I'm not about followers, mate. Go through Twitter. I never, ever, ever, ever once used the numbers of followers that I have to disrespect anybody. Never done it once. So, there you go. If anything, the lady in question threw the 5,000 subscribers at me to say, I have brands falling over themselves to work with me. I have 5,000 subscribers in 3 months. So she tried to belittle me, and I said, that's okay. I could get that in a weekend, following people back and knitting a scarf. If that's disrespecting somebody, dickhead, then I disrespected her in your book. But Bradbury, as I said, my little friend, you're on my medium today, buddy. So adios. Right, guys, the watch along tomorrow. We will start at 3:45 for this one. And don't forget, we're giving away a shirt with thanks to Score a Draw, which will be given away on the 12th of March. To enter to that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and go over to Twitter and subscribe to @ScoreDrawRetro as well. We're also giving away 2 signed John Barnes photographs after the game tomorrow. Again, just subscribe to the account on here and check out our Instagram account @AnfieldAgenda. You'll see a pinned, not a pinned tweet, I keep saying tweet. You'll see a post there with the John Barnes signed image, and Kev has all the details on that one as well. I think we're moving towards the end of tonight's show. Bobby Duncan scored a hat-trick today as Liverpool under-18s won 7-2 against Blackburn at the Academy, Connor. There's no stopping that young man.
Every time we hear about him, he seems to have scored like 3 or 4. Like, how old is he? How far away from being in the first team is he?
He's under-18s, so he's obviously around the 18 mark. A couple of years, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. But if a guy's scoring as many as he seems to be, you'd have to fast-track him through, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like goal scoring is a habit, no matter what level you're playing at. If you can bang in that many, there's obviously something good in there. Like, always give him a chance in pre-season next season, I'd say, and see how it goes from there.
Yeah, he's banging them in. I mean, he scored, I think, 23 goals, something like that, already this season.
That's nuts.
I remember he set himself a target of 20 before Christmas, and I thought, well, young man, that is some target to set yourself. I think he just missed it, but I mean, maybe by 1 goal. He was that close.
Close enough, like, yeah.
Ridiculously close. And Stephen Gerrard's cousin, by the way, for anybody that isn't aware who Bobby Duncan is, he's a young man that came from Manchester City, signed a professional contract with Liverpool, and is Stephen Gerrard's cousin, so it's in his DNA.
Future captain, maybe. Never know.
Awfully British said, Craig just gave you £5 on Patreon. Keep it up, mate. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone that supports the channel. I'll give you an example, actually. We spoke about these people earlier on that were talking about the shirt, blah, blah, blah. The same people tried to say, this lad's a fucking idiot. He's on there begging for people to support his YouTube channel. Because remember we were trying to buy the camera that time. I mean, I have to explain to these idiots what crowdfunding is, because apparently they think I invented it and I'm the first person to ever look for something like that. Crowdfunding, Connor, have you ever heard of it before?
No, what's that? Never
Apparently
heard
it's
of it.
where some bald idiot goes on and begs for stuff. Even though the people that these people are, supporting have done similar things. But when we do it, it's not okay. But there you go. Thank you awfully, British mate. Do appreciate it. What is the Patreon? It is there. Patreon.com/Anfield Agenda. If anybody else does want to jump on there and support the channel. And look, what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and freshen up Patreon, Connor, aren't we, over the next few weeks? We're going to try and do it so as people that do support the channel, we will make sure that it's worth your while. We'll make sure to try and give something back, whether it be in a digital format, whether it be in a private show. That sounds a bit too sexy, actually, sorry. Or something like that. We'll try and do something to make sure that people get something for their support of the channel.
Sorry, just more idiots in the chat there and keep them out. Yeah, we're going to try out some new stuff into it just to spice it up a bit, jazz it up, as you say, make it a bit more interesting and thank people for the support.
Craig, go and read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Jace Roberts recommended that book to me a while ago. I actually have it. I have the book. I'm about a quarter of the way through it. I should really get back to it. Yeah, it's good reading. It is good reading. The problem is, look, ladies and gents, to sum up, there's too many fake people in the world. There's too many people that want to sound like they're saying the right thing. There's too many people that want to look like knight in shining armours and be a hero. And these people do everything in the public eye because they want a pat on the back for every single fucking thing that they do. I am that person. I could tell you hundreds of things that I do, I've done to help people, but I don't. I keep it behind closed doors because I don't want to be that person. I don't want a pat on the back. I want to get followers or subscribers because of the content that we make and the stuff that we do. Not because I look like I'm a good guy. I'm me, warts and all, and I'm never going to change. I'm sorry. I'm sure that most of you know me by now, and that's good. I hope that you continue supporting the channel. But if anybody doesn't, or anybody thinks I'm a dickhead, I don't know what to say. It's a free world. That's all I'm going to say, but I ain't going to fucking change. What are you going to say?
Fuck him.
Fuck him indeed, young Connor. Fuck him. Do you know what? We have completely robbed that off Dave. I feel so bad about that. That was Dave saying.
Who's Dave?
Exactly, your man, that Dave. Actually, Dave got some lovely comments. We had Dave on yesterday on the stream, and he got some lovely comments in the chat as well. People were saying he knows an awful lot about the game. It was great to have Dave on, and I'm sure it's something we can do again soon. And we have to get Cash on as well. See if we can get Chris on. I mean, there's a couple of people, Connor, we really do need to catch up with.
Yeah, definitely. Get all the old crew back.
Yeah, end of season sesh, end of season party.
It'll be class, yeah. Get everyone to Liverpool for the last game. I'll go for a laugh.
Bear LFC said my football team came back from 5-2 down. Wow, that is some comeback, mate. Well in. What else have we got? Bobby Duncan and Paul Glatzel are hugely talented, and I'll be pissed off I don't see them in pre-season in Chicago. Said October. Everton will park the bus. Steve reckons. It's mad. I actually remember, even though Retro Unilim, I said that from day one. RetroUnlimited.com, even though Steve comes in, I remember his name, even though he's not in every so often. I do try to remember people's names if they tell us.
It's impressive what you do, to be fair.
I try my best to, because, yeah, look, I like to feel that we've gotten to know a lot of the people in the chat over the past almost year that we've been going, Connor. And it's good. We've got a good little community on here, and we appreciate them. Well, I do more than Connor, clearly. I mean,
clearly, yeah.
He's a bit of a diva behind the scenes. I just make it out like he's a nice fella. He's worse than me. I mean, the rant I went on earlier on, woohoo, that's Connor every day to me on the phone.
I'm a proper cunt. Like, there's no way other way to describe me.
Except he aims it at me. What can I say? Right, ladies and gents, I am going to call it a day there for this one, but we will be back tomorrow for the watch along. Everton versus Liverpool, the Merseyside derby, the 100th Merseyside derby to take place at Goodison, and Liverpool have won 33 of those games, more than any other English club have won at Goodison Park. I hope you can join us for that one. We'll be starting at 3:45 p.m. Thank you to everyone for tuning in tonight. Apologies for my rant earlier on, but I don't really apologise, as Mr. McGregor would say. You know the rest of that one. Connor, look, buddy, it was a pleasure catching up with you. I'm sorry you had to jump on a night that Craig lost his mind, but
no, it was fun. It was fun sitting back listening to your rant and jumping into the chat.
As always, guys, look after your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.